What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on Collector's Thoughts, we wanted to talk a little bit about toy companies and things we want to see in the future and a little bit about price increase. As always, I'm your host, respawngranted, co-host RB, Real Batman. How you doing, buddy?
I got multiple names, but I'm good. How are you?
I'm good,
You
man.
completely missed the faces I was making, but that's okay.
It's because my camera's to the side. I have to look to the side. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Hopefully everybody out there is having fits, but, having fun at the same time because, everything's going to shit. So
you might as well enjoy it, dude. Enjoy the ride. So like I was saying, we kind of wanted to talk about the future of companies and stuff like that and kind of what we'd like to see. And, I'll start off first. I know for me personally, I would like to see toy companies not do so many store exclusives, or if they're going to do store exclusives, maybe do it like, here's the basic line where you can get them everywhere. And then maybe like a special variant that's like a store exclusive. You know what I mean? That's what I would like to see.
Do you want to know what I'd like to see? Or
Sure.
do you want me to do you want me to like give my thought on what you just said? I mean, I could do both. I agree with that. I like to. I hate the store exclusives.
I know.
I think like you the commons should be everywhere, and if you want to have certain rare pieces like figures, you can have it go to certain stores. But if it's just a regular figure, man, just let it be everywhere. I hate that shit. But what I would like to see companies do is drop their freaking prices, especially you, Hasbro, because when you're charging about the same thing as NECA and your product is nowhere near as good as NECA, and for all you Hasbro buddies and like all you guys that are infatuated with Hasbro, then Hasbro could do no wrong. Even some of them are starting to be like, yeah, these prices, like, no. I mean, you should be nowhere near NECA's price point, like, let alone import. So, yeah, I'd like to see them bring down their prices because they're definitely taking advantage of the situation and they're price gouging the consumer. That's just my opinion because McFarlane's hasn't raised his prices. A lot of the import companies haven't raised their prices. So why does Hasbro keep going up every 3-4 months? I'd like to see them. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, but you know what's weird? Prices on figures, obviously on everything, but this is what we're talking about is mainly the figures. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. Like I was at the store today, and I saw a wrestling 2-pack by Mattel of Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant for about $20 at Walmart. Right near it, I saw the you ever seen like almost like the remake of the LJN ones by Mattel? Okay, so they have a line that's like that where it's like the same build of the LJN ones, $20. So I'm like, why is the 2-figure one almost $20 and then the other one is $20? You can't tell me it's articulation because that's based on the old school LJN ones. So there's no way in hell that has more articulation than that. It's not accessories because I see like a coat or a hat. So
it's not. I can give you another example of exactly what you're talking about. Look at NECA. Some of their ultimates are 38. Some of their ultimates are 33.
Yeah.
This guy was 33.
Oh, nice, dude. I need to get that guy too.
Sick. Okay. So why is it that he's 33, but the other ones, like the Predators, are 38 or 37 or whatever they? So I agree. I don't understand what the hell what's going on with the pricing. Well, I do. They're price gouging the shit out of consumers, especially Hasbro, man, and NECA. I'm sorry, as much as I love NECA, like we've talked about before, I think that we kind of gypped them off for years because their ultimates were worth way more than 27.
Right.
But we were getting a lot of bang for our buck. So now I feel like they're trying to railroad us.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt like when they raised their prices to 33, I think that was a good price point.
Yeah.
Now pushing 40, I'm sorry. I like your stuff, but you're still not as good as Super 7. So you need to stop with the price increases because I know a lot of people that, including me, I did not pick that guy up. My buddy picked him up for me and he already had it. So I couldn't say no because he knows, and I hope that you remember that the animated Turtles, Yosaki Yojimbo was my main favorite guy outside of the four turtles, especially Raphael, was him. It
Yeah.
wasn't Casey Jones like a lot of other people. It was him when I was a kid. So, he knows that, and he picked them up for me. So now I had to give him the $33. But for me, I'm priced right out. Like that's the first figure I've gotten. Not technically me, but my buddy got it for me. But in over a month, I can't, dude. I just, the prices are ridiculous. The space is becoming a problem. It has been a problem, but the prices going up like this just makes it easy for me to be like, don't want it.
Yeah, but out of all seriousness though, how much of that, if you were to give like a percentage on 100 out of 100%, how much of that is price and how much of that is you personally with your space?
It's 50-50, dude. Because space, I have two kids. I have a son. I could always hand stuff down to him, especially the lower end stuff like that, the Marvel Legends and stuff. And I could always sell stuff, especially the high end stuff, because you could put them right back in the packaging, say it's in excellent condition, and in some cases get more than what I paid for it back. Right. But you know me, I don't like to resell my stuff. You know that about me. And I know that you're kind of the same way. I have sold stuff I know you have. I think it's 50-50. I think the price increases has got me so annoyed that it's kind of got me back. I mean, I was a diehard sports fan and became a casual sports fan over the last 6 years. And now I'm kind of leaning back towards sports and starting to play my handhelds, my old handheld games again, and reading books, because I can't with these prices, man. Yeah. I can't pay $32 to $40 for Hasbro because the quality of their figures is still the same when they were 20. Yeah. I can't justify those prices.
Right. They're not adding anything. They're not changing anything. And a lot of the times, I'm pretty sure it was you that said it, that they actually even reuse molds and stuff too. Like
they do it all the time.
Yeah.
They do it all the time. Right. All the time.
So it's like, what's the excuse for the price raises all the time? You know?
They're taking advantage of the inflation crap, but they need to understand that it's the more expensive things get, it becomes about survival. We don't need to buy action figures. Right. Hasbro better start coming to grips with that, because their greed is going to turn into bankruptcy. Mark my words.
And another thing too, now that we're talking about this too, one thing that I personally would like to see companies start to do more of is more stock. Because I'm tired of going to a store and seeing like one or two of each figure from a line or from a wave, and that's it. It's like, well, what the hell, dude? You know what I mean? There's only like, since I brought up wrestling, there's only one Hulk Hogan out of that whole box, and then that's it. That's all the store will get. It's like, come on, man. We need to see more, especially the ones that people want. You know what I'm saying? Like I can walk into Target right now, and there'll be a whole row of metalheads and mud chucks and stuff. But will I find a turtle? No, there won't be a single Ninja Turtle. But there'll be a bunch of those guys. Like, that's not what we asked for. We asked for more of the ones that people want. That's what we want.
Quick heads up to you in this video, ironically enough, because I just remembered that you said that. Mm-hmm. Do you have the movie Casey Jones and the undercover Raph?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that, but that's been out for a while, correct?
Yes.
That was launched a while ago.
Yeah.
I just saw it at my local Walmart on the other end, not on the end that you're in, you know, the other end that I'm talking about.
Yes. Wow.
And they had like a whole stack of them. And I'm like, wow. That's the first time I've ever seen those, ever.
Yeah. Wow. That's impressive.
So to touch on your point, like you see the same figures over and over again, and the ones that people want, it's like, between the scalpers and the distribution being horrid, and the price is going up. I'm kind of out of the game right now. Like, I'm doing collector's thoughts. I had my own personal reasons, which is why I terminated my channel. Personal health issues for a loved one, and I got to devote my attention to that. But I'm just doing this with you for fun, because I started off doing it on here anyway. But but the price increases, the availability, striking out, wasting gas, and then prices going up, space. I'm always going to be a collector, and but I'm massively cherry picking. Like, I could see myself only getting probably only a total of 10 to 12 figures the upcoming year. because I've completely canceled a lot of my pre-orders. I only have 2 figures that I kept pre-orders. The rest is all canceled.
Yeah.
I just can't do it anymore. I'm worn out. I'm worn out.
Well, and the other thing too, you brought up a good point too. Who can even afford to drive around anymore to these stores and try shopping? Like, you can't. The gas is like $4 or $5 a gallon now. It's like you can't afford to drive from one end to the other.
And it's affecting shipping prices. So when you order online, you're paying more for shipping. Yeah. Just the whole thing is just garbage, dude. So I think personally that if they continue to do this, if they increase their prices again before the end of the year, which they might, I mean, I just keep hearing it all over like social media that it's just people are getting sick of it and they're gonna stop. I know one dude that sold off half of his collection. He's done with it.
Wow.
Legit, no bullshit. Yeah. He sold off half of his collection. He's done with it. He only kept his absolute favorites, and he's going to do what I just said I'm doing. He's going to cherry pick like less than 20 figures for the year. The absolute must that you have to have. Other than that, done.
Yeah. Well, and you know what the other thing too is that when you think about it, like I think I brought this up in the last video. I'm not sure, but how many different versions of a certain character do you really need before you're finally like, you know what? I'm good with having that character. You know what I mean?
You did bring it up.
I did. Okay.
You did bring it up, but it's still a good point, though. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it is. It's they just keep like McFarlane. It's like, and RB, Real Batman. I love Batman. It's my all-time favorite. But come on, dude, it's multiverse. And he's starting to do it. I'll give him that. Yeah. He's starting to do it. But it seems like every single wave has to have Batman. No, it doesn't, dude. Yeah. You can leave Batman out of a wave. Yeah. I know there's all kinds of versions, and I get it. It's about money. Batman sells. It's the bread maker for DC. But so does Superman. Yeah. He's a very close second, and which we've seen plenty of those. But I don't know, man. Just and even with him, like even his Spawn, like he's just I'll give him credit. Like I mentioned in the last video, he's the only one that hasn't raised his prices of the domestic companies. And I give him a ton of credit for that. But what I am getting frustrated with him is, dude, slow down. Yeah. It's exhausting. I can't keep up. I don't want to keep up. I'm done. Even with him. And I love what he's doing. His figures are getting better and better, especially this year. He's had a great year. Yeah. But I can't keep up anymore, dude. It's like Spawn. It's this, it's that. It's like, you know what, man? No, I can't. I pushed back completely. Yeah. I can't.
And it's funny you say that, because that was the other thing I was going to say, was that I would like to see certain companies kind of slow down a little bit. And if anything, maybe because there's certain waves that I've never even seen in store, and they're already on the next one. So it's like, how about this? Slow down a little bit. Make sure that those other waves are getting out to stores. There's plenty of stock of the characters that people want, and then go to the next wave. Yeah. You know, why are we already on wave 3 and 4 of something when I haven't even seen wave 1? You know, it's frustrating. Yeah. So that's the other thing I was going to say, was that some certain companies, him being one, Funko being another one, they might need to slow down a tiny bit and just kind of like, you know, relax. Like, people love your stuff. Chill out.
Well, McFarlane's he's cranking it out, but he's also killing it, and he stood back with his prices. But he's not the only one cranking it out. NECA's been doing it, and I feel like they're just like putting everything out all at once, like they're bombarding people. NECA's been doing that lately too. Like everything comes out at once. Like they have those end caps set up with all these new figures that just came out, and they just keep bombarding more and more and more. So the only one that's not doing it is Hasbro. You can't find their shit anywhere unless it's the freaking Eternals. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that company, dude. I think they want to go out of business, to be honest with you. Either that, or they're still a little butthurt from McFarlane kicking their ass in the U.S. and Canadian markets, because he kicked their ass and Mattel's ass.
Right. Well, Mattel's another one, man. Like, I actually was at a Walmart today, and from that $20 line that I was telling you about, I saw wave 2. I saw like Ric Flair and like Bray Wyatt, whatever. And I saw one Ultimate Warrior. That's it. It's like, are you kidding me? So there's like 6 of the other guys, one Ultimate Warrior.
And it goes back to your original point, starting off this episode. This episode of Collector's Thoughts was like replenishment, and like you can't tell me that they don't know that there's a lot of Ultimate Warrior fans out there that are wrestling fans. Like I prefer more of the old wrestling stuff, which we've talked about before.
Yep.
And Ultimate Warrior is up there for me. Okay, so like, why only one Ultimate Warrior? Like, you can't tell me you don't know that there's a lot of Ultimate Warrior fans out there, because they do know.
Right.
And it's just crazy. The distribution is all screwed up, man. But what's other things that you would like to see? Because we talked about, I said pricing. I'm the one that triggered this whole pricing thing, but it's a valid point though. Absolutely. Like, I would like to see it calm down, because we don't need to buy action figures. These companies need to understand it. I think McFarlane understands it. I think he's the only one that understands it, because he hasn't raised his prices. Right. Meanwhile, NECA and Hasbro and Mattel, just especially Hasbro and NECA, they just keep raising them. So, I mean, I would like to see them stop and like come back down to earth a little bit and just be like, okay, inflation, because what's going to happen when inflation goes away? They're not going to reduce their prices. They're going to leave them right where they're at.
Yeah. Yep. And like you said, I mean, no one's going to pick figures over paying their bills. It's just not going to happen.
No.
So So the other thing that I would like to see too is more pre-orders. Like, I would love to see that option of being able to go online and pre-order, from every company, not just a handful, not just certain lines. I'm talking about every company, every, whatever, every line, every wave, whatever, because there are certain things that I might not buy the whole wave of, but there is a certain character or a certain athlete or whatever that I want. So instead of me having to sit there and try to battle people and fight scalpers and all that, put a pre-order up. I'll give you my money and I'll get my figure directly from you. What's wrong with that?
I don't know why they don't do it. It's not something that's too hard to figure out or do. Right. They could do it if they wanted to, but I think, again, conspiracy theories, I love them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why these companies do some of the things they do. I think they don't. That's pretty basic, right? If you want people to buy your product, put up a pre-order, not for like 20 minutes. Right. Do it for like a week.
Yeah.
At the end of the week, you know how much you have to fulfill based on your pre-orders, and just fulfill the damn things. And I agree with you. I think it should be a lot of companies that do it. Some of them do, but they do it through like Big Bad and stuff like that, which he's frustrating, man. He gets shit late all the time, dude. Yeah. And a lot, like, I don't know, I lost count of how many times I've canceled my pre-orders because I ended up getting that figure that I had on pre-order somewhere else.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times myself too.
But pre-orders is pretty straightforward. Do it for like a few days or a week. At the end of that week, you shut it down, and just people want the products, as long as you don't keep jacking up the prices.
Right.
They want the products. At the end of the pre-order what the count is, what you need to fulfill, and just get on production and get it done. But yeah, I wish, because it would make because the thing about pre-orders is, you're going to get yours.
Right.
It kind of eliminates that go to the store and the thrill of the hunt, and you get there and you strike out again. And with the gas prices being high again, and it keeps going back to the prices, because it affects everything. Right. It affects people's motivation to want to go do things, because even if you want to, you can't afford to, because gas prices are expensive. Right. Groceries are expensive. Figures are getting ridiculously expensive. So pre-orders would go a long way to solving all of that, especially if the smart companies will figure this out. They'll say, wait a minute, like, touch on your point, with everything going up, we need to do pre-orders, because they're going to get theirs. They know they don't have to go out and hunt this stuff down. They're going to get it shipped right to them. Right.
Right. Well, and the other thing too, that the reason why I don't understand why they don't do it is because if you send just a blind amount to a store, if it doesn't sell, they now clearance that stuff. Whereas if you do pre-orders, every single person that's signing up for that pre-order, you're getting the full price you're asking for. So if you're charging $30 for a figure or whatever it is, you're getting that $30. Whereas if you send them to stores, you have to hope they all sell, because if not, now it's clearanced and you're going to lose money and all that stuff. So that's another thing that I don't understand. It's like, why risk having a situation where you have 20 of a certain guy or whatever on a shelf, when you can actually do exactly what is needed, and then you put extras in the stores for people that are casual collectors, people that have children that want to buy it, stuff like that. But for the hardcore collectors, let us pre-order it.
Okay, so based on so we touched on the pre-orders. Can I ask you a question? I want to put you on the spot here.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
What's one company, import company, which we're starting to see like SHF already at Target. Some of them are not exactly the figures that you and I would collect, but you are starting to see it. What's one company outside of the NECAs, the Hasbros, the McFarlanes, the Funkos? What's one company? I can think of one right off the bat. They're kind of there, but it's not the ones. It's not the scale that I would like. That you would like to see Target carry in the collector section where the NECA is. You know.
Yep.
What company would you like to see Target carry more of if they could?
You know what, dude? I would actually be interested in seeing Hot Toys. I would not mind seeing them if we're talking figures. Now, obviously, I would like to see like Sideshow and like, stuff that would never happen, like Prime One. That's never going to happen.
No.
But things that I could actually potentially see, I would be all right with seeing some Hot Toys actually on the shelf over there. But I don't think it would ever happen either. That's probably too expensive too.
No, I don't. I mean, Target sells some pretty expensive stuff. I don't think it'll happen because of the space, how much space it takes.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
I would like to see, because even the quarter scales NECAs that they carry, it's very minimal, and you see them like bounce around. They're in like the movie section. It's just everywhere.
Yeah.
I would like to see the Super 7 Ultimates.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of them. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, hell yeah.
And this definitely won't happen, but not because of space. But you never say never, because you're starting to see SHF. Like I said, I would like to see Mayfex.
Yeah, that would be another one that would be cool to see.
Because with them cutting down on their QC issues, and they've cut down their figures, they're killing it with their lineups, like the comic stuff, the movie stuff, the QC issues being down. Their price points is still the same. They haven't gone up. I would like to see Super 7 and Mayfex.
Yeah.
I would love to see them, even if it's a small section, but still give us some of that Mayfex love at the Targets. Bring back some Toys R Us. That would be nice.
That would be great. Yeah.
But I would like to see Super 7 came to mind first, and then I would say Mayfex. Hot Toys, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I highly doubt it just because of the price point and the size of it. Yeah. I don't know that they would carry it.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? I actually like the Mayfex one. Now that you mentioned it, because I didn't think of them. Mayfex would be a good one because they have a lot of awesome Marvel stuff. And yeah, I think that would be cool. I would actually, I think Mayfex would be an awesome one to see, and Super 7 in that section. That'd be great.
What about Mezco?
Mezco? Yeah, but aren't they kind of big too, though?
No, Mezco's 1/12 scale. It's the smaller, like the mini Hot Toys.
I'm thinking of somebody else. Never mind. Yeah, Mezco would be cool because they also make some pretty like some good Marvel stuff and whatnot too.
Mezco's starting to make a lot of horror stuff too. They got that Crow figure that's still on pre-order, and I'm eyeing that. Which I've already watched the Crow like in the last, I want to say 2 months. I've watched it like 3 times. I hadn't watched it in a while.
Yeah.
I put it on that one time, and I went, dude, I forgot how badass this movie actually is.
Dude, the first one's good. The rest of them not as good, but the first
that's the one I'm talking about. The first one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The first one, that movie is. I was sitting there watching it with my wife. And I'm like, man, this is one of those things where, it kind of like sparks that love for that character, and he's definitely horror. And I did cancel my pre-order of the Mezco one because it's $100, but that might be one that I might regret because I love me some Crow, man. I really do.
Well, dude, the same thing happened to me after I watched the movie Prey on Hulu. That was awesome. After I watched that movie, I was like, damn, dude, I kind of want to get some like NECA Predator figures now. It was awesome, dude. So cool.
You're missing out, dude. You're missing out. The Predator figures are, to me, everybody's like, oh, is it really horror? I think it is. I think it's sci-fi horror. That's what Predator is.
Of course it is, yeah.
So to me,
it is.
And for me, and you know this very well, we go way back, obviously family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I introduced you to Michael Myers at a very young age.
Yeah, I know.
So you know me to be a true DC fan, but also horror is like right there, dude. I love horror.
Yeah, but no, I think that absolutely is horror, sci-fi horror, because even Alien is considered sci-fi horror. So
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I think he absolutely is considered horror, but but once again, to our point with the price, it makes it tough because it's like, first of all, NECA has like 20 different versions of the Predator.
Yeah.
So many different ones, and then on top of it, it's like, once again, that that extra $5 that they went up, it's like, I don't know if I really want to get it, So
You have to start cherry picking and go slow. There's no question. I think that price. I think as winter comes and the way things are, I think the toy industry, the figure industry is going to start to hurt. And I think a lot of they're really gonna they're banking on having a super holiday season, and I think there's going to be some disappointing numbers because, yeah, dude, I know quite a few collectors that have gotten rid of all their domestic figures, kept very few, and they're going all in on imports, and because they're saying the prices are starting to push imports, and I would rather buy less figures, but when I buy one, I know I'm getting high-end stuff. Like the feel of the figure, the way the figure moves, it stands up, it doesn't keep falling down. Like it's a completely different animal, dude. It really is.
And then obviously you're gonna have other people that just straight up can't afford it. You got to pay bills, you got to put food on the table.
Yeah.
You're gonna do that stuff before you buy figures, and that's gonna hurt these companies too. And that could be possibly why we're not seeing as much stock in the stores too, is maybe they're concerned about that or trying to preemptive, prepare for that.
What's something that you would like to see start up again? What, like, is there anything that you would like to see a company make that isn't being made? That's a tough one because these companies are making so many, like you got Conan Barbarians coming out.
Yeah.
You got Toxic Avengers by Super 7. Like there's already so much covered. Is there anything? Because I got one in mind, and we were talking about it before we started recording, and I'm going to mention it in this. And I don't know if you agree with it, and if you do, you can say it. It's not like I'm not going to be mad. Oh, you took my idea, because we'll agree. We can agree with it. Yeah. I mean, we were talking about it before we started recording, so you already know what mine is, but the audience doesn't. But is there one that you can think of outside of that, or do you agree with the one that we were talking about? I don't know.
I honestly, I can't really think of anything because, like you said, they're making so many things, and they're going, like, these companies are going so in depth with the characters in each franchise that, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody, if I sat down and really thought about it, but I can't think of anything right now, to be honest with you, dude. So why don't you say yours first?
Well, for starters, I'd like to see McFarlane bring back the sports figures, but with his updated articulation. But not this, because for those of you who have the sports picks, the figures, like I know me and you have quite a few of them.
Yeah. The
detail on those figures for the time that they were made was incredible. So I want that detail, but with slightly more articulation. It doesn't have to be like his DC figures where there's like fucking joints everywhere, but just more articulation than the sports picks had. You know what I mean? Where you could pose Michael Jordan dunking. You know what I mean? Where it's not just pre-pulls where it's that like that forever. Maybe Michael Jordan, you can change it and have him doing a crossover. So I mean, for me, it would be McFarlane bring back the sports pick. Real quick, Hasbro is bringing back, I don't know if you heard about this, the NBA starting lineups.
Oh, no way. I did not hear about that. That's sick.
For right now, it's NBA. They announced it. It's NBA. Just NBA players with added articulation, but they're $50 a piece.
Wow.
Not paying that. Unless it's a figure like maybe Zach LaVine, because we're both huge Bulls fans. Yeah. Unless it's a Zach LaVine and I see it in the store and I have the extra money, but $50, man. Come on, man. Think about how spoiled we were with the McFarlane sports pick. Yes, the Hasbro ones, everybody's gonna say they have more articulation, but man, go look those up. They've already posted them. They don't look as good as the McFarlane ones. They have more articulation, but they don't look as good as the McFarlane ones. They don't.
And how big are they? Are they 7-inch figures? Or are they bigger?
I think they're 1/12 scale. I think they're 6-inch figures.
Oh, okay. So
$50.
Yeah.
Hasbro's lost its mind, dude.
Yeah, that's how do they justify that price point though?
Well, this licensing. See, with sports figures, it's tough because you know, you have the Adidas sneakers. If LeBron wears Adidas, they
Um,
have to pay those fees in order to
yeah.
put the Adidas logo on the sneakers. So I understand why, but damn, dude, $50, man. Then you better make that shit look a lot better than what your promo pics show. That's what I'm gonna say.
Dude, I'm gonna have to go check those out. That's pretty awesome. I think I might have to check that out right when we're done with this because that's pretty cool. I do remember the starting lineups, but the ones that I remember obviously were the ones that were, you know, not the greatest looking starting lineups.
No, these are better than those.
Yeah,
these are definitely way better than those.
I would
But
hope.
I mean, and I think Jason Tatum of the Celtics is in the first wave.
Yeah,
Of course, I think LeBron James.
of course, yeah.
Of course, he's in there. I can't remember all of them, but if you wanted to buy all of them, it would cost you like over $200 or $400 or whatever the hell it was. I think it's like because they're $50 a piece,
Right?
and it's just like no.
Wow.
I get it. All the licensing, there's more licensing when it comes to sports. Like I said, right down to the Nike sneakers. If they're because look, it's NBA. If Jordan wears Jordans, you have to. They're not gonna buy it if it has like some generic. So they have to pay for. There's more fees that they pay. So I get it. So you want to charge $50, then you got to give us a little bit more, and you definitely got to make it better looking than what I saw in those promo pics. Because no freaking way.
Do you remember the headliners, the NFL headliners? They were like the little bobbleheads, dude. Those were awesome, dude. Those were cool.
We need more of that stuff back because I can tell you right now, I would not buy every single player regardless of whether it's on my team. Now I would just buy the players that are from my teams.
Yeah.
Like you know, the McFarland Sports Picks, like we had Peyton Mannings and Brett Favre's, and even though we hated them, they weren't from our teams. We collected them all, and now nobody talks about them anymore. So
I know it's crazy how fast that came and went, dude. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's another one I used to like too? Do you remember the I can't remember the full names, but they were the little like armies, like guys that were like they had like different monsters, different creatures.
Was it Army Ants?
That was one of them, but there was another one too. It was damn, what was it called, dude? Like they had like they had Army Ants, which was awesome, and then they had the they were like different colors. They had like a purples, they had blues, they had peach colored guys, and they were almost like I used to call them muscle men, but I don't think that's what they were called. And there was like they had like guys that had like that looked like they had bird heads, and they had like giraffe heads, and dude, I forgot what they were called.
Beast Masters, is that what it is?
I think so. It might have been something like that. They would come in a pack, and it would have like maybe like 5 of them in like a thing. And I still have them. I still have a bunch of them downstairs. My kid even plays with them.
I don't know if I said that right. Let us know in the comment section below what those are, because I can't. It's right there, but I can't remember. I remember those because I had a bunch of those, dude. I had a lot of those.
Those were cool, man. Like they're no articulation, but they were little. They were only like, I don't know, 2 inches tall, and you'd put them on the shelf, and they just looked awesome, dude. Those things were pretty cool looking.
Hasbro, bring back the Army Ants. I would be all over that shit, man.
Those were cool too.
I love those. I love those.
That's what I mean. Like little things like that, niche things like that are kind of always been interesting. Obviously, it has to be priced right though, dude. You can't be charging like $20 for that.
Army Ants? Freak no, I would not pay $18 for that shit. No.
that's what I'm saying, dude. That's got to be priced right.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So
just think about it. Just right before we go, think about this. Their figures that used to be $10 are now 18.
Yeah.
Hasbro. They're like their kid stuff, like the Spider-Man, like less articulation. $18. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, the price is getting high. And actually, you know what it kind of reminds me of? Do you remember when they did the video game, the bubble for the retro video games, where everyone just kept buying at these ridiculous prices? I can see something like that, similar to that, happening to the figure community, where it at one point it becomes too much, and these companies, they regret it because they kept pushing, and now nobody wants this stuff anymore. It's too much. So
they're gonna phase themselves right out.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully they wake up. But that's it for me, man. Great topic, great conversation, like always. Do you have anything you'd like to add to the thing before we go?
No, just let us know. How are you guys feeling about the price increases, and what would you guys like to see companies make? Do you agree with us, disagree with us on the pre-orders and all the stuff that we touched on? Let us know in the comment section below. And let us know, man. Is the price increases? Is it got you frustrated? Are you contemplating not collecting anymore? We want to hear from you guys. Let us know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and anything you guys can think of as far as frustration as far as being a collector, let us know. That'd be cool, man, because we gave you our opinions, pricing and not having enough stock and stuff. But maybe you guys can come up with something that we didn't think of. So I would love to hear it too. That'd be great. So,
Yep.
But that's it for us, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later, guys.
Peace.